Okay, guys. It is time to move on to our one. It is time to move on to our second bit of movie news for the day. And our second bit of movie news of the day comes to us from Collider. And I had no idea. I had no clue that there was a Gremlins prequel animated television show in the works. So, this is a two-part news story here. First part news story, guess what? Gremlins is getting an animated television show, an animated prequel television show, and it's going straight to HBO Max. Again, this is coming hot off the heels of Tiny Toons Looniversity. You know, yesterday we just dropped the news, or news dropped. It's not like I dropped the news. I'm not that much of an insider, you guys. But news came out yesterday that Tiny Toon Adventures is having a kind of a sequel or like a reboot show called Tiny Toons Looniversity, following the adventures of the Tiny Toons. It being executive produced by Steven Spielberg as well, coming out on HBO Max. Well, now today it's being reported not just that there's a sequel to Gremlins. A prequel to Gremlins called Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai. Ooh. But also, there is a little bit of concept art that came out today as well. So let's take a look at this concept art here. And yeah, so one of the animators on the show, the Evil Dead. I unfortunately I don't know his name, but this is the concept art that he put out today. Just look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. I wonder if I can zoom in. Is there a possibility of zooming in? Maybe not. Anyway, look at how beautiful this concept art is, you guys. Lean in close. Look at your screens. It looks beautiful. Now, who knows what the actual animation is going to end up looking like? Who knows what the actual animation will look like? But the concept, like the art to this, oh, it looks glorious. Now, keep in mind, this is just concept art. This is not what the actual animation art will look like. They very oftentimes try to mirror like the animation style, the art design after the concept art. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was very famous in doing this, in that they hired a few guys who were Tolkien experts, and not just experts, but Tolkien artist experts, and they created a lot of the concept art that became reality in the film, right? So they had to do a lot of digital compositing. They had to do a lot of CGI creation, and also like practical set design creation. Does it look exactly like frame for frame perfect on screen as it did on the page? No, because it's concept art, and that's exactly what this is. The show will look a little bit different, but if it looks anything remotely close to this, you guys, I think this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful show. And yeah, like I'm excited to, first of all, I was excited to hear about Gremlins. If this was going to be a live action show, I might have a little different feel for this. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't, because it's a television show. Like television shows and movies, they're often a little bit, different. That being said, I don't know, like it just, the whole idea of this sounds so cool. And it takes place, the article goes on to say that, and it wasn't Collider that broke the news. I believe was it Variety? I want to say it was Variety that broke this news. The show takes place in a 1920s China. Whatever that, we have the concept art. We kind of know what that's going to look like. Maybe a little bit of as to what that feels like. I personally want to know. This is one of my, it's not a gripe per se. It's one of those conceits that you just have to accept to enjoy the movie. And the original conceit of Gremlins, first of all, that, they actually exist. There's like these little gremlin-y things that exist. But I want to know where the rules came from. There's the 3 rules when dealing with Mogwai. 1, they can't eat past midnight. 2, you cannot expose them to sunlight. And 3, under no circumstances whatsoever should you ever get them wet. Ever. Which, I mean, we're physiological beings. I mean, we still need to consume water on some level. So that part just never really made sense to me. Anyway, but it doesn't matter. Like that's one of the main conceits that you have to admit to yourself to say, okay, I understand it. I buy into these really silly rules, I guess. I would like to find out where those rules came from. How are those rules, like why, how do they exist? You know, like where did these rules come from? Also, if they can't eat past midnight, is that like per time zone? Like if you're in the East Coast, can you, like, is it East Coast time zone? Is it like one of the time zones in China? Like which time zone is it that we're talking about here? You can't eat past midnight. And like also if you cross time zones, because came here from China originally in the first movie, or supposedly, I mean, like he was found in a shop in Chinatown. So presumably he came to America from China, presumably. So which time zone? Which time zone are we talking about here? And also, what is it about sunlight? Like how is a Mogwai sensitive to sunlight? Bright light. I want to know. And if you guys want to know, I highly encourage you to jump down into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Like, what other questions do you want to know or have answered about the new Gremlins TV show? Are you excited for it? Do you think this is too much? Are you over reboots and sequels? I, for one, am super enamored with nostalgia. Nostalgia just speaks to me. There are certain things that do not need to be remade, and we'll talk about that later at a later date. But I think this is a really cool idea. I think this is a really cool concept. I hope you guys think this is a cool concept too. So what I want to know are all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, guys. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Scrooge McDuck would want you to do. DuckTales, woo!